Hello, welcome back. Day 9 is now complete at the World Cup. And this makes me very sad because day 9 was the last day that we were having four matches in one day. Now, well, technically we're still going to have four matches in one day for the next 2 or 3 days. However, these were four separate matches. We're going to have the overlapping matches with the final group games so that nobody can, so no result can influence the other result. So that's very unfortunate, but that makes me a little bit sad. But on the bright side, maybe we can all get back to the real world and realize that there's life outside of football as well. Potentially, potentially. Hot topics for today. Right. So day 9 was a stunner, absolute stunner. Serbia and Cameroon. That was the main stunner, I would say. Like it had it all. It had it all. Thrilling, high scoring, great goals. Ghana then were too strong for South Korea. That also in itself had it all. Brazil win without Neymar. That was actually one of the more boring games of yesterday. Can you imagine a Brazil game being boring? But there you go. And Ronaldo, no. What I mean there is no goal for Ronaldo as Portugal won against Uruguay. Then team news for Wales versus England. Spoiler alert, there is no team news. And Judgement Day for Group A and Group B. Let's have a look at the fixtures that are coming up for Day 10, aka today. All right, well, let's get into it. Serbia and Cameroon served up a stunner for us yesterday. What can I say? What can I say? Absolutely. Let me show you the goal scorers and all that here. We just need to switch over. That's the wrong match. There we go. Cameroon versus Serbia. As you can see very nicely, it was Cameroon that took the lead in the 29th minute, but then it was Serbia who came back to make it 3-1 before Cameroon scored their second and third goal to even it up. Serbia looked like they could score before the end of the match again. Cameroon equally looked like they maybe score. It was just such an exciting match, so exciting. It was Abu Bakar. Abu Bakar, have I said that right? Yes, Vincent Abu Bakar, the veteran of Cameroon, scored a fantastic goal. Oh, if you have not seen this goal, you need to track it down on YouTube. If you look at ITV Sports on YouTube, you can get all the goals from yesterday's matches. But this was something else. Broke the offside trap. I think he actually thought he was offside because he was so relaxed in his finish. Proceeded to chip it over the goalkeeper. Lovely lob over the goalkeeper. Perfectly weighted. Bounced just in front of the line and into the net. Beautiful goal. Beautiful goal. One of the goals of the tournament for me. I still think Richarlison's goal for Brazil was awesome. But this is right up there as well. You absolutely have to see it. In terms of possession stats and attacks and everything else, it was all very even. Serbia had slightly more possession than Cameroon, but in terms of shots and everything else, it was very even. But a thoroughly enjoyable match. Where can we go from there? Well, we can go to another thoroughly enjoyable match. This time, though, it wasn't a draw. It was 2 goals for South Korea, and you have to say these things sometimes. People can misinterpret. What? North Korea are in the World Cup again? No, not this time. Not this time. South Korea and Ghana scoring 3 goals, but controversial ones, I would say. Um, the first goal, actually, Salizu's goal for Ghana. If you haven't seen this one, also have a look at this. It wasn't as dramatic or as exciting as Bubu Bakuro's goal. Oh, I've butchered his name again. But anyway, I'm trying at least. I'm trying. But clearly, there was a handball in there. I do not understand how that goal was given. There was 100% a handball in there. Regardless, it set us up for a very interesting match after Kudos scored the second goal then for Ghana. It was 2-0, as you can see, and then it was up to Korea to fight back, and they made it 2-2 before Kudos scored again in the 68th minute to make it 3-2. And I tell you, it did not end there. Korea went all out to try and score. Look at the possession stats here. You can see 53% for Korea, 32% for Ghana, and then 15% in contest. So Korea dominated the possession, but it's the attempts at goal. Look at this. 21 attempts from South Korea versus 8 from Ghana. On target 6. Yeah, so it's slightly skewed. A lot of wayward shots, I suppose, from South Korea. Off target 8 shots inside the penalty area. 15 shots inside the penalty area. And outside the penalty area 6. They tried everything right up to the final whistle. And it was a controversial end to the match as well because Korea won a corner and the referee blew the whistle. Paulo Bento, the Korea manager, he lost the head. He went absolutely loopers. He went crazy and he came on to attack the referee. The referee is English referee. I can't remember his name, but it was the English referee. Now, when I say attack, verbally abuse, I should say verbally abuse. I'm sure he dropped a few f bombs and the likes, and yeah, he got sent off. He got a red card, and you can see that's very nicely captured up here with the red card in the 90-11th minute, if you will, or the 101st minute, 90 minutes plus 11. That was for Paulo Bento, the manager of South Korea, and I can understand why he was aggrieved. Just let them take the corner; it gets cleared away, and game over. Or let them take the corner, they score, and game over, and then Ghana go crazy because they play too much injury time. I don't know. You can never win, can you? You can never win. From there, we go to Brazil versus Switzerland. Brazil versus Switzerland. Tight match. Switzerland came set up clearly to frustrate Brazil and to get a draw from this match. And you may remember that I've predicted Switzerland to finish on top of this group. That's it's not going to happen now at this stage. Hold my hands up. It was worth a shot. It was worth a shot. Brazil, of course, didn't have Neymar in the team yesterday. They had Fred in the team and they still performed okay. Long-suffering Manchester United fan here, but they still performed okay. But speaking of Manchester United, it was Casemiro, the main man, who scored the goal for Brazil, and it was a stunner. It was a quality finish from a defensive midfielder. Great goal by Casemiro. It was enough to seal the deal for Brazil. Brazil did have a disallowed goal earlier in the match as well, which was given as offside. It was Vinicius that scored that one. And if you look at the stats, I think it's just going to tell you about what type of a game this was. Very cagey from the Swiss side. They didn't have a lot of chances. They just really tried to shut down the Brazilian team. 51% versus 40% in terms of the possession. The goals obviously skewed one way. Attempts on goal, then you can see 9 versus 4 for Brazil. 5 versus 0 on target. 2 versus 1 off target. Inside the penalty area, 6-2. Outside the penalty area, 3-2. But it was down to Brazil to do all the attacking. Switzerland didn't really look like that they were going to score at all. I think they had one good chance in the entire match, and that's how it fell. And finally, then that brings us to Portugal versus Uruguay, or the hot story that I've entitled "Ronaldo, no, Ronaldo." Well, Ronaldo celebrated scoring a goal yesterday. He claimed it came off his head, but actually, when you look at the replays, you can see that maybe it brushed his hair. Maybe. I still think it's a long shot that it brushed his hair. But it was the cross by Bruno Fernandes that actually sailed into the goal. And then Fernandes himself scored a penalty later on in the match. And actually, he had another great opportunity to get a hat trick, but he hit the post in the final few minutes of that match against Uruguay. It was a very dull first half, I have to say, in this match. Both teams looked for a while like they wanted to draw. It didn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for the table that they would want to draw, but that's kind of how they had set themselves up. But coming back to Ronaldo, so Ronaldo doesn't grab the goal, and I guess he'll be aggrieved at that. But a very good day for Manchester United players yesterday. As you can see, Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes all scoring goals. Possibly, an ex-Manchester United player, and Ronaldo almost had one, but not quite Ronaldo, not quite. But that is going to annoy him. Nothing. So he's going to be so annoyed about this, so annoyed, because of course Messi has been scoring for Argentina, and we all know that's what it comes down to. We did see a cameo appearance as well by Luis Suarez, and no, he didn't bite anyone. I think he's running out of time to bite somebody. Maybe in poor taste to say that, but I have fond memories of Suarez. Making a goal line save and of course biting people back at I think that was the 2010 World Cup. Wow, time flies. Okay, brilliant. So let me bring us back then to the main studio. So what do we have? We've covered all of that. Ghana, Brazil, Ronaldo, Cameroon and Serbia, stunner. That brings us on then to the team news for Wales versus England. So I think that's the big match for today, Wales versus England. there isn't a lot of team news, to be perfectly honest. There's been a lot of media scrutiny on Gareth Southgate, especially following that very poor performance that they had against the USA. Great result for the USA. We shouldn't take away from that. They played very well. But England just, they didn't really turn up for that match. They phoned it in, basically. Rumor has it that Henderson will be starting, and there's quite a defensive setup already coming to mind for Southgate. Why do you need a defensive setup against Wales? It is a local derby in a sense, so that will always be a factor here. That will give Wales an extra bit of emphasis. We're also hearing from the Welsh manager that Wales have nothing to lose, and that's completely true. They have absolutely nothing to lose. They need to go for this, and so I'm sure they will go for it. Still work to be done for England as well, according to Gareth Southgate. He's coming under pressure as well from Cafu, who was asking, well, why are you not including Trent Alexander in your team? Well, I can tell you why. It's because he's too attacking. Defenders should not be attackers in Gareth Southgate world. I can tell you that much. We also, of course, moving on to the Judgement Day coming up within this group as well. We have Iran versus the US. The US coach has come out and has apologized for that mistake with the Iran flag, or that's what they claim. No harm was intended by the US soccer team, and they have apparently deleted the tweet and put it back up with the correct flag and the correct emblems on that flag for Iran. However, despite all of this, they still believe what's happening to women in Iran is wrong, and I think we're all in total agreement on that one. But this is about football, not about politics. We've heard too much now about one love, and they've forgotten about racism in this tournament, apparently. So it's interesting how the tide moves on these things. Okay, next up then, as I said, Judgment Day for groups A and B. So little known or little forgotten Group A, the one with Netherlands actually. So there's quite a bit to be figured out for that group still, and it's easier if I come back to the screen share again and you can see what we're up against here. So at 3 o'clock today we have Ecuador versus Senegal, which in itself will be a fantastic match, and then we have Netherlands versus Qatar. Not expecting the Netherlands to lose this one, although Qatar will still push to get some kind of result. Being the home team, they are out of the tournament, but they will not want to go out with a whimper. They'll want to go out with a bang. I can't see them beating Netherlands. I can barely see them drawing with Netherlands. It would be a travesty for Netherlands if they do draw. Time will tell on that one. Netherlands probably to win it by 1 or 2 goals, more than likely. It could be a 3-0 actually. It has 3-0 written all over it, but Netherlands have not been impressive so far in this tournament, which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate. They haven't lit the world alight just yet. But so going into the Group A matches, Netherlands are on 4 points, Ecuador are on 4, Senegal are on 3, and Qatar obviously are on 0, and they're out of the tournament. So Netherlands realistically just need a draw to go through. Ecuador also need a draw to go through. It's more comes down to who's going to be first and second. If Senegal win, they're going through. So it's a straight shootout now between Ecuador and Senegal. Winner takes it all. If they draw, Ecuador are going through. So quite straightforward, I think. Then we get to Group B, and it's a little bit more difficult to decipher here. So England are on 4 points, Iran are on 3 points, US on 2 points, and Wales on 1 point. So theoretically, everybody can still qualify out of this group, but only 2 can actually make it in reality. So England versus Wales. Wales absolutely need to win this, and they need to win a big. Look at their goal difference. Interestingly, though, Iran have a -2 goal difference as well. What Wales need, they need to win, and they need Iran and the US to draw. They don't need those teams to win. If they win, then it comes down to goal difference between Wales and England, or it would come down to goal difference between Wales and England. They'd be on 4 points each, and you can see there obviously Wales would need to score about 4 goals, I think, to overturn England. That's not going to happen. No matter who the winner is, that's definitely not going to happen. So but this is the crazy world of football. Who knows? Iran versus the US, very hard to call this one. I have a feeling that Iran might just about do this, but it could turn out to be a draw. And if it is a draw, that works very well for Iran. It works very, very well indeed for Iran. That would put them on 4 points. And assuming that Wales don't beat England, then Iran will go through. If Wales beat England and Iran draw with the US, then Iran may just be out of the tournament because they will have a negative goal difference. You can see they have -2 goals, whereas Wales also have -2. But if Wales win, their goal difference will change a little bit more positive. Iran's won't change with a draw, so Iran would be out. Not an easy one to figure this out. If I'm to guess it, look, let me put it on the line here: England to win, and Iran and the US to draw, with Iran going through. That's my prediction for today. Okay, I think that's it for now. Thank you very much, as always, for joining. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Like the video, very important. Subscribe to the channel, very important. And hit the bell as well if you want to be notified of future videos. So thanks for joining. Let me know in the comments if I've missed anything, if there's anything you'd like me to cover in future videos. And who do you think is going through in Group A and B later today? Speak to you soon. Have a good one.